Hi guys there,
Hello everyone.
Casa Salentina here.
Yes, Anna and Michael here, and today we're doing frequently asked questions on buying, renting, locations, taxes, and questions like that came up. We asked about 3-4 weeks ago in a video if you had any questions to email them in, and we got sort of the same repetitive questions, I think.
Yeah.
So we will answer those questions as much as we can according to our experience and that sort of thing. So if Michael, I'm going to get Michael to do the reading because I don't have glasses to read it. So what he's done is he's copy and pasted the questions from the different emails.
Yep, got them all here.
Onto a document, and I'll get him to read them out. And if you do have any further questions that we may not have answered, or questions that weren't asked by others, please feel free to email us or comment below, and we're quite happy to help people on this venture. This is exciting times, and now that we've actually done it and experienced the whole process from buying remotely during lockdown where we couldn't get there, and going through the whole process right through to renting out the property, which was our goal right from go one. We wanted to be able to have it as an asset, so it's actually earning money for us and it's not draining money from us while we're not there, and we don't want it abandoned or left empty while we're not there. So we will answer the questions that we have here in front of us, and we'll go. We won't mention who sent what because we don't, just in case they don't want to be mentioned.
Okay.
All right. And some questions are repetitive, so we'll try not to answer them twice. Here we go. This is our journey of buying a home in south of Italy, in Salento, the heel of Italy, known for its beautiful beaches, sunshine, a land steeped in history. We bought our house in the historic centre of Galatone, a small town just a short trip from the beautiful coast of Santa Maria al Bagno and surrounding towns of Gallipoli, Galatina and Nardo. Follow our journey on how we made it possible from Australia to purchase this remotely and the progress of the refurbishment and restoration along the way.
Right, here we go with our questions. Our first question: how do you stay in Galatone for 4 months, for Italy basically? Is it because you're from Australia or down under the road? Because normally you can only stay 90 days in any one 180-day period.
Yes, because it's part of the Schengen area. So
right.
For those who are not aware of the Schengen area, it's in Europe. There's so many different countries, and I think Croatia now is added to that. Before Croatia was one of those ones you could escape to after your 3 months and then come back in.
Yeah.
So that's just an area in Europe where you can only stay for those 90 days if you're from Australia, and I think also Canada and America.
Yeah.
There may be other places. I think New Zealand's also the same.
Yeah.
So if you're not a resident there, and you're not an EU, you don't have an EU passport, you do have to leave unless you have some sort of visa, or if you've got a working visa. If you've got a type of visa, you can stay longer. So we do have EU passports, that's how we're able to stay longer than the 3 months, the 180 days.
Yep.
90 days.
90 days in 180 years. Yes.
Yes. Oh wow, 90 days. So that's why we were able to stay longer. So that answers that question.
It does.
I will say though, even as an EU passport holder, do not get mistaken that you have free reign and stay there longer than 6 months and 1 day. You will lose your residency if you're an Australian here in Australia.
Yes. So
be careful with that. Get all your facts. Go to the embassies, get all those facts. I mean, they probably change weekly. They're not like Italy where they change their laws all the time. But just check that out. But we know at the moment, currently, we cannot stay there longer than 6 months and 1 day. We do not want to lose our residency here in Australia. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, next question. Someone asked about the car that we had in our videos. Did we hire it for the whole length of time that we were in Italy, 4 months? We did. It's a hire car.
Yes, we did. Because we're not able to buy a car there because we're not residents.
Yeah, and they also asked about the cost would be quite expensive for 4 months.
Whereas the longer you have it, the cheaper it is. It's like if you're in an Airbnb, the longer you stay in your Airbnb. So if you're going anywhere in Italy, you're better off staying in your Airbnb for 10 plus days or a whole month. The rate is so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So yes, we got a really, really great rate. It included the insurance, included
Unlimited kilometres?
unlimited kilometres,
Yeah.
everything. Like it was, except the petrol.
Yeah.
Much
Right.
petrol.
It was an
Really
older
expensive.
car, but it got us from A to B.
We don't mind
job.
buying
Yeah.
renting the older car because we
Yeah.
knew we were going to buy furniture and use it as a delivery
Yeah.
type vehicle.
Yeah.
So do your shopping, shop around. Don't go for these 120, 150 euro per day. Ask for long term. You could do it by the month. So we're able to pay it 1 month in advance. We didn't have to pay for the whole 4 months in advance.
Yeah.
So we just paid it for the 1 month, and if we didn't want to have it for the following month, there was no obligation.
You could just hand it back.
We could just hand it back.
Yeah.
So
So
we
once a
still
month.
kept the same rate
Yeah.
each time. So they didn't, okay, you didn't keep it now for 4 months, so we're going to change your rate. They didn't do that, so yeah, that was good.
Okay, next question. Our property has star vaults in some rooms. This is from a person that's inquired. We love the exposed stone that you did in that room, our room. They're asking about who did the reveal of the stone and dust protection and the cost and so forth.
Oh, right. So, so those of you who've been following our channel, we did a whole process remotely here from Australia. We did not step foot into the country. We didn't even know Salento at the time, even though we're really well travelled in Italy. We know Italy so well. We went to Puglia, north part of Puglia, but we weren't in the Salento
south,
region prior. So we did this all remotely with Salento with Love. They have a YouTube channel. I would go back 2 years, if you can go right back to where the lockdown happened and watch all the YouTube videos. They some things might be outdated when it comes to taxes and prices and things like that. Those videos might be outdated, but you'll see the town, you'll see the housings, the services, what's around the town. So we went through them, and it was the best experience bar none. That's how we got. Well, it's how we bought the house.
And how we got our work.
Yes. So they have a team.
Work,
they have a team,
Yep.
or probably more than one team, because they have a lot of projects going on at the moment from all the people that have purchased through them. We believe it's over 100 people now that have purchased through them. So not everyone has major works. Some might just have small renovations like we did, like exposing the stone. We would like to get more stone exposed, but we have a tight budget and we do keep to our budget, so we're not going to blow that out. So yes, they have a team and we just use their team. You can also get quotes from other people if you prefer. So that's what we did there.
Okay. All right. Someone asked about a solar area that needs cleaning and sealing. Solar area being a rooftop terrace, probably half the size of ours. Did we use their team again for that?
We did.
We did.
Yes, we used their team for the cleaning. I know other people that cleaned it themselves. They just hired the
jet blaster thing
and did it themselves, and like cleaned the walls and painted it. They did it all themselves. They even did the ceiling
of all the joints.
All the joints. When you see the roof terraces, you'll see that there's these joints, almost like grouting, I guess. But it's it's outdoors. It's waterproof. So yes, we got them to do it. If you've only got a small area, you probably could do it yourself. It just depends if you're actually going over there and you're staying there. It depends what you want to do with your time there. We did 4 months over there. Every year when we normally go there, we go for anywhere between 2 and 3 months. But we go holidaying. We actually move around, stay in places for 10 days and move around. We use whatever place we rent as our base. So if you're not holidaying and you want to stay in the town, live like a local, live like an Italian, get to know your town, then you may come across people and get help and do it yourself. It is hard work. I'm going to let Michael talk about how much work he did in the 4 months we were there, because it was the first time ever we did not travel that much,
Yeah.
and he worked his fingers to the bone.
We had all the big stuff done, the painting of the place and that the ceiling and all that, but all the little paint jobs and repairing things and bringing back old desks and tables, that was all me, and it was 40, 42 degrees, and
Yeah.
I think I lost 10 kilos while I was away working in
Yeah.
that heat.
So,
It was a
how
fair
many
bit.
people lose weight when they go to Italy?
Yes, I was still eating pizzas and pastas and vino.
It made no difference.
But yeah, so I still haven't put it all back on.
No,
but,
that's right.
Yes, it was hard work.
And he bakes bread almost every second day here, and he still can't put the weight on.
Yeah.
I just have to look at the bread, but I think all the girls probably understand that.
Yeah. It depends how much you want to do. If you don't want to do any of the work yourself, sure you can go through Salento with Love, or,
Yes.
or get your own people when you're there, or do it yourself. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
If you like.
And obviously, you know, you're going to be paying them a percentage for them to get their team out there, but it's really worth it. I mean, if you want to be flying back and forth all the
Yeah.
time and you can afford to do that,
Yeah.
you have the time as well as the money to be able to do that, well then, yes, do it yourself. Otherwise, in our case, we could do certain things, and other things we just didn't have the contacts either. So we prefer people that have contacts and the job gets done, because you always hear about people saying, well, we got there, we found this guy and then he didn't show up, or he came and the job wasn't up to scratch.
Yeah.
You know, they charge us really cheap, and you know, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So
With the Salento with Love team, they are very professional.
yes, yeah. Now we're
his
we're not
team
getting paid by them. They don't even know we're doing this video. We're just talking about our experience, and they were the
Exactly.
people we used.
Yeah.
But as I said, there were some things we just said no to because, well, basically it was always regarding our budget.
Yeah.
And we thought, no, those things we can do. We will sacrifice some hours per day, not to go out and tour spots and holiday.
Yeah.
But we pretty much had a great holiday. If you see all our Salento in a day videos,
Yes.
and part of the top 5, you'll see that we did really do a lot of the hill and really discovered it, because it was one area of Italy that we hadn't done.
Yeah.
So yeah, just depends on your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We are looking to furnish using as much vintage furniture as possible, a bit like us. Other than the Lecce antique markets, have you tried any other, or are there any Bracanti type shops in southern Puglia?
We're going to say yes to this. So I'm anti Amazon
Yes, hates Amazon.
with a passion. All right, but that's just me. Right, I have not ever had a bad experience. I had no experience because I don't deal with them. Right, nothing. For me, I love Italy for its slow food movement and everything else. Everything is slow, piano piano. They take their time. You need to have patience.
Yes.
If you haven't been to Italy and stayed there for more than 2 or 3 months, you don't want to buy a house and live there because it'll be a culture shock to you,
Yeah.
right? But you know, we've been going back and forth since I was 7 years old. All right, but in my adult life since 2004, I've been there like a dozen times. I know what the culture's like. I understand it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Patience.
patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get things done early before 1 when they all close.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
What was the actual question?
Are there any other shops apart from the Lecce markets?
Yes,
and
so I didn't answer the
the
question
vintage
actually.
shops we went to?
So the vintage shops, I would definitely recommend Antonio in
Galatina?
Galatina. Now there's 2 Antonios in Galatina.
Yes.
I'll get Michael to drop in the names of the 2 stores.
Yeah, put that in
The Il
description.
Mercatino, I think it's called, and that Antonio he's like family now.
Yes.
We love him.
Yeah,
We love
he's
him.
great.
He did second-hand and vintage, and so affordable.
Yeah.
Wow. So we definitely recommend him. The other Antonio, he and his wife, I can't think of her name, they were great too. They're on the more vintage only, not second-hand,
Yeah.
and obviously a little bit more expensive because they deal
Yeah.
specifically, and he actually does the fixing himself. So there's a name for those people. I can't remember what they're called, but where they actually
Restores it
restore the
himself,
furniture and everything. So obviously he's going to have, you know, more. His prices are a little bit more expensive,
Yeah.
but top quality. We did buy a couple of things from him as well.
Yeah.
Yes. There is a market To Nardo twice a year actually. I think it was July and August in Nardo in one of the beautiful villas. Just go there just to see the villa. So we met a few people there and made friends with Olympia there.
Yeah.
Yes, so she sells vintage there.
Yeah.
She's from Bologna, but she also has a home in Nardo. So she also has vintage. I think she might sell at other markets as well.
Yeah.
And she's also at Lecce markets once a month.
Yeah.
So there are definitely places. There are other places as well, but they're the only two that both Antonio's, and we'll give you the actual proper name of their shops.
Yeah.
They were both in Galatina actually, those two. Definitely the Lecce markets. And where we brought one of our tables from, he was in Lecce. I think I may have his card. We might put his name in there too. He had some great things as well. So we'll jot them in here somewhere.
And the description below. Okay, next question. The lovely tiles on your floors, did you clean or polish them yourself, or is it a job for a professional with a special machine? So that's our yellow tiles we have on our floor there.
They're not clean. They're not perfect.
No?
They need regrouting. They are scratched, like they show all the beautiful, like the lines we have on our faces, our beautiful laugh lines, our lines of life, and
that's how they are.
That's what our tiles look like. I mean, they
probably can't tell from the videos.
You can't tell, no.
No. Yes,
so it'll be a shame to actually remove them because of the history there. So we're not removing them at this stage.
We just sweep them or vacuum them and mop them. But we haven't done any more.
Yeah, but they're a terrible scratch. We may probably regrout the entrance and the living area.
Yeah.
We may regrout them. Hopefully that'll help that a bit. But that actually has stains as well as scratches.
Yeah.
The ones, the really old ones, I think they're from the 1920s in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
They're even older.
Yeah.
For some reason they're in better condition, but I guess because they're bedrooms, there's not so much traffic going through, and you've got the beds covering them. The living area and the entrance, they're quite well worn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And we really had to work with the colour on that because I wasn't happy with the colour at first.
Yellow.
And mind you, yellow's my favourite colour.
Yes.
It's my favourite colour.
Oh,
I'm wearing yellow today.
It sort of grew on us though.
But just something in that. Yeah. Anyway, we sort of got some blues and greens. We made it work with the timber, giving it some warmth. Yeah. So do not be afraid if you go into one of these beautiful old homes and you're into the vintage and the old Salentino homes like we are, to keep those tiles that way. Don't go and think I've got to get them all replaced brand new. I mean, if you're doing a total makeover job like some people have done, then you're starting from scratch. That's different. But if you're just got a home like we did where it didn't need, a total reno, I would keep them. You can put some nice rugs, mats in certain places.
And you can get them cleaned professionally. We watched a couple who had the same thing done with like how they polish timber floors. They had a polishing machine, I think.
They did, yes.
And put some application on it afterwards.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. We did see someone just recently, actually, in Sicily that did that. Yeah. So there probably are professionals that can probably help us do that as well. Yeah. So yes, we are more vintage. Like our first choice when we were looking for a home originally, we were looking in 3 areas. It was Tuscany, Sicily, and Puglia. We know Tuscany and Sicily really, really well. Puglia we'd only been to twice, I think, so we didn't know it as well, and we knew it from the Etria Valley up to Bari. Yeah. So we only knew Polignano, Bari, Monopoli, Alberobello, all those cute little Martina Franca. We only knew those sort of areas, and that's like the green belt. That is the really green sort of area. Whereas you get into Salento and it's like concrete. Until we found the east coast of Salento, then when we started seeing some green and the difference from the west to the east. We love Tuscany because of the beautiful chestnut beams and the exposed stone and
rolling hills.
The rolling hills, obviously. We did find 1 or 2 places. We didn't go ahead with it. At the end of the day, it came to we as Australians live 2 seconds away from water, literally. Yeah. So we wanted the water. And Sicily, I have family there, so if I ever went there, I always had somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
So, and we thought it's off the mainland. We wanted to be on the mainland because we'd experienced, not just myself, my son this year with a whole group of people experienced the same problems with the fires. They couldn't get off the island. All the flights were cancelled in Catania and Palermo. So, you know, then you've got, I know you've got the ferry, you can still get the ferry, but between fires, Mount Etna and all the striking and everything, we thought, no, let's stay on the mainland. So that's how we ended up choosing Puglia. It had the coastline, had the beaches, and we were on the mainland, so we could get to Tuscany or anywhere that we wanted.
2 airports as well.
It's got more than 2 airports. Oh, Salento's got 2 airports.
Salento,
we've got Bari and Brindisi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And the trains are
Trains are great. Yeah.
Best. So, yeah.
Okay, next, we know from watching the channel that you have visited 40 plus towns in Puglia. Have you been to,
Right, now we hadn't been to that particular town. We had been to the surrounding, like literally 10-15 minutes away.
Poggiato.
So we love that area, but we had not been to your town. We went to Castro. It's my favourite of our top 5 that we chose. We've only done 2 of the top 5 so far. Yes, all right, and it's in that side. It's on that side of that Castro area. So we had not been to that particular town, though. No.
Okay. This is from a different person now. What made you choose Galatone, and would you choose this town again?
All right, affordability 1,
Yep.
location 2. So when I say affordability, it's a smaller town, only 15,000 in population. So it's not large like Lecce, has like 90,000. It's the Florence of the South, it's the city, it's the capital. So we didn't want to be in a huge big city. You pay more in a big city. Yes, it's more lively in a big city. You have all the cafes, restaurants, you have all the shopping. But I'm not a city, I don't want to live in the city. I left Sydney. We live an hour north away from Sydney now. So I'm not going back to Sydney, even if it is an Italian city where it's not hectic like Sydney, but
Still hectic.
So we chose Galatone. Its location was so close to the coast, to the beaches, and we've got quite a few really pretty towns near us too. Gallipoli, Galatina, Nardo. So we've got just arm's reach in that west side on the Ionian Sea, even though when we did arrive there this year, we did sort of say, yes, we like the east coast, but the east coast for us is more like a holiday area. So I don't know if I want to live in a holiday area. We have lived in a place here called Terrigal, and you know what it's like in holiday season. At Christmas, I had to leave. We used to leave our home, fly over to the other side of the Australia, to Perth, to visit our parents, to get away from all the holiday people. So we thought, no, we probably don't want to live on the east coast of Salento.
Great for going away for weekends or
great
holidays.
Great for holidays on that side. And so Galatone was a living town. It's a small town, but it's a living town. It's where the locals actually live. It's a little bit backwards and behind most of the other towns. Like we really preferred Nardo, which was 4 kilometres away, which we, when I say prefer, when we got there this year, we preferred it. When we saw it last year, we thought it was okay. But then this year we spent more time there at night as well as the day, and we thought, Nardo was
a bit of night vibe.
Night vibe, yes. Galatone didn't have the night vibe unless there was a festival. Is there a festival in Galatone? Everyone comes out. So, but for living, it is so affordable. Food, so affordable. I can't even go into the food thing. People were fantastic. And location for us for the beach was perfect. So it came down to affordability for us, and affordability not just in purchasing the home, because we did purchase it outright, but also in living there. So we're looking for living. We're looking for the little quiet town that has the church bells. We love the church bells. We waited for them every morning. You hear the church bells, and then again, you had the lunchtime, the afternoon ones, the 7 p.m. ones, then we had the 9 o'clock ones. We love that sort of small town living, so that's why we chose. It wasn't our first choice. Galatone was our first choice, but it fell through. And this one was our next one on the list, and so that's why we got this one. And in hindsight, we sort of happy we didn't get Galatina. It is a lot more busier.
Yeah.
And we thought, no, we were trying to avoid busy. So there's a God there.
Yeah.
Universe came to play and thought, you wanted something smaller.
Yeah.
We did find it a little bit disappointing when we got there this year because it was a dirty town. It was one of these places that had a lot of garbage around the place.
Yeah.
Some towns have it, some don't.
Yeah.
And Galatone was one of them. We did write a letter which was forwarded on to the mayor. We did get a reply as well, which we were really glad. And coincidentally, which must have been in the plans, it wasn't because of my letter, a week later our road gets dug up and we get, at the moment we're in the process of having all the stone, they're right at our front door at the moment. We'll add a photo in now so you can actually see where the stone is. So that's going to obviously clean up and make the place look prettier. So,
yes.
And they've done that also in the main area where the Croce Fisso church and Palazzo Macassali, the main area there. Yeah. So fingers crossed within 5 years this town would be more like Nardo and those sort of places. Yeah. But it definitely has the people, has all the services, the trains, it has buses, everything.
Too,
So we've got to think budget too. Yeah. And we wanted that living. We wanted small town, local living with the beautiful church bells and so forth. So that's how it came down to.
Okay, next question. How long did it take for Salento? We'd love to find your home, and did you also look on your own?
All right, so we looked on our own from 2020 to 2021, all on our own on Idealista, Immobiliare, and Casa.it. Yeah. I think Gateway was another one. Yep. And there was one other one. We did look relentlessly. I did every day practically because I was out of work during lockdown for the whole 12 months. I'm a dance teacher and that was the no-no.
And it was on there for hours looking, and then we would sit for hours looking at all the properties that interested us.
So I did that for about 3-4 months while Michael was still able to work. He was in the health industry, so and I don't think he took it seriously that I was ready to do this.
Not in the beginning. But
No, so I did it basically on my own for about 3 months, and then I said, right, this is it. Yeah. I'm serious now. I'm finding things that I like. We're doing this, and we didn't come out of lockdown. Travel for us in Australia was November 2021, so we started this in 2020. 18 months later, we were allowed to actually leave Australia and fly out. So our trip 2020 was cancelled. We were fortunate to have all our airfares, accommodation, everything refunded. So that
was a bit of a struggle because the company went bust.
That's right.
Court action still going on, I think.
Yeah, but we got our money back.
So
that was through Singapore Airlines. We got our money back through. Yeah. So we were quite fortunate to get all our money back. So all we did was in 2022. Once 2021 opened in November, we booked 2022. Yeah. And it was a year later, I think, from 2020 to 2021 we looked. Yeah. And then I think it was like February, March 2022. We found some homes. That's when we asked David to look again for us. So he did look in 2020 for us. Everything we were choosing had railway tracks in the backyard.
Yeah.
I don't know how we found them. So we didn't go ahead with any of the ones that we found. And I think Anna Marie had a list for us to look at as well. And I think the one that we really loved on the East Coast was already sold. Yeah. So then we stopped looking for a while, and in 2022 we started looking again, and we gave a list, and it was the first one in Galatina fell through, but the second one was the one we ended up buying in Galatone. So we went through our list, but they did give us a list as well.
They did, yeah.
Yes, so it's up to you if you want to use their list or you do your own research. We did a lot of YouTubing for the areas. We did a lot of, I looked up the population of every town. It gives you also the logistics of, like the breakdown, how many males, how many children. We wanted a town that didn't have, 90% elderly people. We wanted to make sure there was people there, schools, young children. So it was a upcoming town. And we also looked at Google Earth. Michael did the Google Earth. So we
drove through the towns.
Drove through all the town, the
getting
streets.
Used to the streets, yeah. So it was like
the landscape.
Where people live, yeah.
Yeah, so when we actually got there last year, because we hadn't been to Salento, we hadn't been to Puglia, we felt like we'd been everywhere.
Yeah, because we'd driven down the streets so often.
We knew where everything was. It was
go.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was a crazy feeling, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So So it was our homes that we sent to him in the end that we chose.
Yeah.
So, and he does a video for you. So he goes through the house, does a video. He's in contact with you through WhatsApp all the time,
Yeah.
and with emails. So we had no problem with communication, none. In fact, we became such great friends
Yeah.
with all of them. We have a little Salento Wet Love family too now,
Yeah.
with all the other people that we have met that are.
Calls us the crazy Australians.
We're the crazy Australians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause we went there.
Well,
before-
because we went there last year
Yes.
after we brought the home, I'd say would have been May. We left in June to go to Italy.
Yeah.
We paid everything, deposit, the full house was paid, left in the notary's account.
Yeah.
So, and then the place settled in July, but we were there in June the whole month and we never asked to see the property at all.
We were only 10 minutes away.
We were 10
At
minutes
the
away.
beach, Santa Maria Albano.
And we never asked to see the property before settlement.
Yeah.
So he thought we were crazy that we didn't actually ring and
Yeah.
say, can we see the property before we settle? But I thought, the money's there,
Gonna
we're
see
going
it.
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in there now and say, no, I don't want this house.
Yeah.
So we thought, no, we're going ahead. So we saw the property after settlement for the first time.
Okay, we may have answered this one. Were you familiar with the Salento area prior to?
Oh, we
pretty
answered
much
that question. Yeah,
we've
that's
covered
right.
around, yep. Did you use Salento Love for
We've answered that
renovation
question.
work? We have answered
Yes.
that. Yes, we did.
Yes.
Any additional tips or advice for me? This is this person. She gave us a list of
Be
suburbs.
patient.
Yeah.
Be patient. I cannot tell you how many houses we went through.
Oh.
I'm not exaggerating if I said hundreds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's starting with Tuscany, because we were asking David if we
Yeah.
could go to Tuscany as
Yeah.
well, because we have this thing for Tuscany. We may still get something in Tuscany.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have something in the north and the
Yeah.
south. Yeah.
And the list was crazy. Bringing it down to 20 was the next thing we did. Then we brought it down to 10, and then we brought it down to 5. So be patient. If you lose out on the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, don't worry. There's still more out there. Do not panic.
Don't
Just
get attached. Is that what you say?
don't get emotionally
Emotionally
attached to the house. It is a house, bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
Where there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
So do not get attached. For us, the house was not to live and retire in for the rest of our life. It was there as an asset. We wanted it to make a return from it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure the house was good bones in a good town with services, pretty much be able to rent it out. We wanted to make sure that when we weren't there, we didn't have squatters in there. We didn't have, another abandoned building in another beautiful town. I mean, the abandoned buildings makes you want to cry when you go to Italy. It makes you want to cry everywhere, not Salento, everywhere through Italy, everywhere. So we wanted it to work for us, actually.
Yeah.
We wanted the house to work for us.
Yep.
So do not get emotionally attached
Yeah.
to
If
the
you miss out
property.
on one, there'll be another one.
There'll be another one, so really be
That's right.
patient. So from where we started looking 2020, I think it was about April 2020 we started looking. Well, I started looking April. I think Michael come on board around September. It was 2022 February, March that we gave the last list,
Yeah.
and that was where we found the property and sold it. So that's more than 18 months. It's almost 2
Yeah.
years. It's like
Yeah.
20 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did this all remotely because we were in lockdown right through
Yeah.
till 2021 November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of brings us into the next question. Should you visit or buy remotely?
Makes no difference. Depends how much money you have.
Yeah.
If you've got money to go back and forth, because one visit's not going to do it. If you're not familiar with Italian culture, Italy as a whole, like the landscape, if you're not sure of if I had my dream, I would buy Venezia.
Cinque
Cinque
Terre.
Terre.
Yeah,
That would be
we
my
love
dream.
it there.
Alright, that would be my dream. It's just not doable for us. I have to think it's a holiday place for us and leave it there and don't live there. Right? So you've got to think that, sure, everyone wants to live in Amalfi in Positano. You don't want to be there during the peak season. And when it's not peak season, it's dead. So we're looking for livable towns. That's what we were looking for. We wanted where people can go there, live there, go to school, go to uni, just live like an Italian. So we leave those beautiful places for us to holiday in.
Yeah.
You need to really know Italy well. If you've been to Italy so many times that you know it so well, it's easier. So it was easy for us to do it remotely because we knew.
Yeah.
But then we ended up choosing a place that we didn't know. So yes, remotely did work for us. We didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
We had not been to Salento.
Yeah.
So I can't recommend, I can't speak for you, but you need to, if you're going to go over there, you still can't go over there and just buy a property. It's impossible. You need to stay there 2-3 months to get to know the town, the surroundings, the services, the people, the culture of that town. Salento people are different to Sicilian people. Sicilians are different to Romans. Romans are different to Napoletani in Naples. Again, they're different to Toscana, to Tuscany.
Yeah.
So you can't just go over there and say, I'll go over for 4 weeks and look for property and find one. That's impulse, emotional buying at your worst. Do your homework, have your list if you want to go there personally to see it. Do your homework, have the list, and then make the appointments, then go over, see all the places, live in them for more than 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It doesn't work otherwise.
The areas,
Yeah, it doesn't work otherwise. Yeah. So do what we did. Google Earth is fantastic.
Yeah. Street
through
view.
all the streets. Yeah. Talk to people, look at YouTube, try look up that town as much as you can. Off and on peak. Yeah. You've got to like it off peak, not on peak.
Yeah.
Like
Completely
it off
different
peak.
Off peak, yeah.
Alright. Off peak is like living here in Australia. Off peak. Don't go there summer, the holidays, the festivals, the vibe. It's not like that off peak. If you can live there off peak, that's home.
Yeah.
That's home.
Yeah.
So I think behind it.
Emotionally invested in
Yes, do not get emotionally invested.
Yes.
It's the hardest thing to do because it's a little dream. You've had this dream. Do your list. Make sure it ticks off 90% of your list as well. That is really, really, really important. Have a list.
A list.
Yeah, have a list. And that list has got to include services, transport, food, the geographic area, the people. How old are the people? Look up the population and look down and just see. So really do your homework on the list, and then think, okay, I wanted a cantina, or I want a star vault, or I want beans, chestnut beans. Write down the things, and it might not tick all of them, but if it ticks 90%, you're laughing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
And that probably as well here, small town versus city versus country versus beach.
yes, so we chose the beach.
Yeah.
We chose small town near the beach instead of the big town or rural. I mean, I'd love Tuscany, but to live in the rolling hills, to be far away from everything, to need a car all the time, I thought we can't do it. So I thought let's choose the next best thing, what we do now. We live near the water, near the beach. That's what we love. Let's leave the Tuscany as our holiday, or maybe as a purchase later on down the track. Something small, like a 1-bedroom apartment or something. Yeah.
Okay, taxes. First house, second house.
Alright, so taxes change all the time. You've really got to look this up monthly. It really, really changes. We paid 9% because we are not residents, and it's our second house. Second house meaning our first house is here in Australia. So if you have a house in another country, your tax over there will be 9%. It's different. If you decide to become a resident within the 18 months of buying, it's 2%.
2%.
Yeah. So if you're not living there yet, but you know within that 18 months you're going to become a resident, you live there, your tax rate will come down to 2%.
Yeah.
So there's lots of taxes. The registration tax, there's the land tax, there's the VAT, which is like our GST. So on our home, GST is like 10%, but if you buy a luxury home, which I think is over $1 million or something, can't remember, €1 million, I should say.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the threshold is for the luxury tax, but I think, and that's 22%. So we're in the lower because we just bought in a normal town. We didn't buy a luxury property. So so there's different tax rates there, and I would just check them prior. Just prior, you can check. Probably can check online, but at the moment it's still 9%, like what we paid.
EU versus visa or just holidaying? Is that part of it?
Yes. So yeah, it depends if you can get visas. So some people, depends what you're going to do with your property. Are you going to be a resident there, or are you just going to go over and just holiday there for your 3 months?
Yeah.
Or are you going to apply for some sort of visa? There are different visas. There's also what we did, where we've got a European passport. So there's so many different avenues. You've really got to work out what you want to do there. Make the decision. The hardest thing is making the decision. Once you've made the decision, the universe finds a way of just making it happen, like it did for us. I mean, we brought in the worst time possible during lockdown.
Yeah.
So, we were destined to do this, and I just didn't put. I was persistent.
Yeah.
Persistent. I was patient, and I was persistent. So.
Renting asset, I think we spoke about.
Yeah,
that.
renting. So we did want to rent.
Yes.
Salento would love to have a team for renting. There are other people also that do this for you. So you can once you get to Italy, wherever you are, in your little area, you could probably find someone. We do have another Aussie in Tuscany area. Might be able to help people. I haven't spoken to her yet, but I will speak to her and maybe help out there as well. So. And we do have another person in Puglia as well. So we do have other contacts for you. Not just, but Davide does all of Italy anyway.
Yeah, he does.
So,
that's right.
yeah, and Sicily, yes.
Yeah.
Sicily with love.
Yes, renting in Puglia, that's right.
And renting in Puglia. So we did everything through them. But you don't have to, obviously, right? You don't have to. If you want other names, we can suggest other names that we do know. They're Australian, these people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know there are there's Americans as well, but we can't recommend them because we don't know them.
You don't know them,
Yeah.
What was the last thing here? Tax, VAT, GST.
We just covered that.
Luxury, land registry.
Yeah, we just covered that.
Yeah, that's the last thing there.
So, all right. Hopefully that has helped. If you have other further questions, please don't hesitate to
make a comment with a question or email at casasalentina@gmail.com.
That's it. Sorry, this was lengthy, but we're trying to get through all these questions because we're getting the same questions repeatedly, also on messages, also on WhatsApp. We didn't answer the questions on the WhatsApp, but I did answer them directly to the people because they were text messages.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll put those links down below that we mentioned earlier.
Yes, the Antonios.
Antonios, yep.
All right, and have a great week, and see you on the next one. I think the next one might be another top 5 of the towns.
Yes, I think we're due for top 5.
Yeah, we're due for another top 5. We've only done Castro and Gallipoli, and stay tuned. I won't tell you what the next one is.
No. You have to watch.
Bye for now.
Ciao.